is not too far behind them, 51 seconds in fact.
So it's going to cost them some time, and they're going to have to work hard to get it back with that drive-through penalty. Debris on the racetrack, drive-through penalties, and more rain on the way. Back with more after this.
This has just gone up a notch, and Baird pulls another second out of Van Gisbergen in this fight for second, and the gap is now 11 seconds with 28 minutes to go. So much to play for, and I think this will be a battle to stay on the slicks the longest, and not stay out of pit lane, because you'll lose just as much time the first couple of laps as if you jump into pit lane.
Coming in first is Andreas Simonsen in the #1 Phoenix Audi, just as he did last time, with the wiper on to show how wet it is out there. But he's decided, because he did this last time and it didn't do him any harm at all. He came through, it actually helped him get to the head of the Audi battle.
That was lightning on the pictures up the cutting there, and look at the trees being blown around as we're following the guys up the top. It's not raining up there at the moment as
Rain reported at the back of the pits, John.
Oh, is it going to miss the top of the mountain? That's the big question.
Because here it comes.
You can look at the flagpoles on the start-finish straight, the Liquid Moly front stretch. Not just the flags, but the flagpoles moving. Even the street lights over the top of the start-finish line. Shea Adam is down in the pit lane in the weather. Is this like hurricane watch back home?
You know, it actually does feel a bit like that. I was just going to say maybe tropical depression, not quite up to a hurricane, but debris has been gusting out of the pit boxes, as you can see, all over. There is just garbage flying across this pit lane, and of course it's going to jump over the wall and then get out onto the track. It's been an issue for the cars coming into the pits because, oh yeah, you want your water bottle? Oh wait, there it goes rolling down the pit lane away. So this wind is picking up. There is a storm a-brewing.
Well, in comes the Class B leader, by the way.
Yeah, and they've done an amazing job, and these conditions will suit Johnny Reid to the absolute T. He's the driver in that car. Kiwi Ace, he'll be loving this. While we've got a bit of a moment, I do need to send a massive thanks to Bruce Morrison, to Ross Churchill, and all the team at Motoractive, Liquimoly Australia, for getting behind this event. Victor Goodyear to do it, no doubt, and thank you very much for your support. It's so important that alternate forms of motorsport in Australia continue to receive commercial backing, and we're not just talking about V8 supercars. As brilliant as they are, it's important that we have events like this for Australian motorsport to be strong, and congratulations and thank you to the Motoractive team for their work, and they have pushed this hard. They've done some wonderful things on social media, competitions, giveaways. They brought Team Exler down with the BMW, wonderful stuff. So thank you very much to the Motoractive team. 15.5 minutes to go.
How is it not raining here? We've got heavy rain on the radar right over the top of us at the moment, and the dark clouds are surrounding us in an apocalyptic scene here at Mount Panorama, and yet we haven't got the deluge that we thought might have come maybe even as early as 5 or 10 minutes ago, but with 16 minutes still to go, we're not out of the woods yet.
Baird another 5 seconds faster than the leader. It's not possible, is it? Surely not.
No.
So
it can't be done.
A lap and 24 seconds. It's in 2 minutes. So 1,620.
He can feasibly get onto the same lap, but then it's going to take something that Roloff does wrong, or a breakage or something for Craig Baird. But that's not going to stop him. I mean, he's going to push as hard as he can, whatever.
Can we just remind ourselves of the class leaders, Paul, as we're looking at the Malrose car that has been leading its class for such a long time?
Well, the Malrose car leading I3, and it's in 13th place overall. We just talked about the Class B race, Class B leader having its final pit stop. Johnny Reid, that car number 30, he's in 10th place overall. Class C is being led by car number 62, the Nürburgring Lotus. That car, which has pretty much dominated its class for most of the race. Romano Sartori, Liam Talbot and Robert Thompson in Class C. In Class D, it's going to be the Peugeot, isn't it? But it's a long way down. Number 24 is not the Peugeot, it's the BMW. in Class D. Number 24, the GWS BMW, leading in Class D, because of course the Peugeots are in the invitation class, aren't they? And leading Class E is going to be number 3 still, the Racer Industries car, Damien Ward at the wheel of the Castrol sponsored Holden Astra. In the invitation class, we talked about I3 being led by Mal Rose. In I2, the number 55 car, Motorsport Services, Malcolm Neal, Clint Harvey and Brett Neal leading in their Seat Leon Super Copa, and leading in Class I2, in leading Class I1 is the Peugeot number 21 of Bruce Giovanni, David Wall and Andrew Jones. Those are your class leaders. Into the pits, John, comes the number 63 Mercedes.
Which I presume Tim Slade needs a new set of wets or a new set of Michelin tyres. He's probably burned them right through to the canvas. That's no detriment at all to the tyre, but he's been running them on a pretty much dry track for the past 45 minutes. I must ask James of Yeehaw, who writes the script for this race, because whoever it is needs a long holiday, some psychotropic medicine and a raise, a huge pay rise, because this has been a barn burner from the start. A little bit scrappy to get going, but certainly plenty for us to talk about in the first few hours. Yes, we've had incident and accident that has brought out a record number of safety car periods for a record number of laps and a record number of time. That's the downside, but the upside is during the green flag racing, it has been absolutely intriguing. We've had speed, we've had excitement, we've had danger, we've had strategy that is still playing out, and with now still just on 12 minutes to go, the rain is starting to fall again at the top of the mountain. And Richard Creel, what is it always like this here?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just how it works at this place. How is it not torrentially raining down here at the moment?
See,
The weather map is showing pretty much the heaviest rain since Noah built his big ship a few 100 million years ago. But this is just remarkable stuff, and everyone just driving around on tenterhooks. We're going through and looking at all the various class leaders at the moment. We just ran through them for you before, but raining on Mountain Straight, so that answers my question. That with 11 minutes to go, what do you do? What do you do with tyres?
No,
You stay out at this stage.
Damien Ward there. Let's have a look at this little Astra. How much is he struggling? There is the Peugeot in the pit lane, the 21 car, the best of the Invitation 1 cars. They were battling so hard with the Lotus for such a long time, and the Lotus had the best of them, you know. They dropped down a few places now after that accident, which we're pretty certain wasn't the fault of the Lotus team. One of the Mercedes-Benz, in fact the 63 car, coming into contact on the restart.
Leader in the pits.
Leader is in the pits. Roloff is not taking any chances. Even if he burns the tyres now in the last 10 minutes, it doesn't matter. He should be able, as the rain is falling much heavier now, as you can see from the pictures on the pit lane, even if he burns the set of tyres, it's not an issue.
Ferrari in. So the Porsche team took the gamble early, and they've been punished badly because they've had no pace, but it'll start to come back to them. But I think the damage has already been done. I think they're relegated to 3rd place. Out goes Roloff in the lead with wet tyres on.
This is looking to be something of a biblical nature. The raindrops being picked out by the high intensity beams of the Ferrari 458 as it sits on its air jacks. Out goes the Aston Martin, and now here's the Russian pit lane. It's going to be absolutely manic down there. Nobody surely is going to risk it after what we saw earlier on. What about an hour ago now? Richard raises an eyebrow at me.
I think, John, both the next cars up, both the number 5 and the number 1, which are in 3rd and 4th places, they are already on wet tyres. So they don't need to come in. That's right. I'm fairly sure that the Phoenix car also came in early to get onto its wet tyres earlier on.
This is the class leader being pushed on the pit lane and being pushed out of the way so that he can service the other car, and this is an issue for the Invitation class leader. The Invitation 1 car, the 21 car in 17th position. Now, I'm not sure that the Lotus is still running after that incident. It's dropped back down.
Replay across the top of Mount Panorama. United Audi, is it? Yes, it is. Car 23.
I've got it. I don't got it. Oh,
Brendan Hartley
kisses the wall.
Wow, huge save. And that is the 6th place car, and it's not anymore. He's been passed by Peter Hackett because he's limping down. He's got broken steering. Toe link in the rear end. So
yeah, no, it's a rear end problem.
yeah,
I think,
it's smacked the car against the wall and bent the rear suspension, and he's crabbing down Conrod Straight at 50 k's an hour.
Looks like he's been set up for a quarter-mile oval, the way that car is coming down Conrod at the moment. And Brendan Hartley, what a disaster, heartbreak for the United Autosport team, for Paul Hagan, the rest of the guys. And off goes the 81 car. Now that at the moment had fought its way all the way back up. It's had all kinds of trials and tribulations. Elton Julian at the wheel of that car, and that is at the Hell Corner, turn 1. Texting the folks back home, checking the weather, sending the messages to the loved ones down in the Erebus pit lane.
This has been a mighty drive from Craig. The Porsche, third place. Look, we did not speak about them for the first 6 hours of this race. They just went about their business. I think the only thing was discussed was that they had a replacement driver, that Matt Kingsley jumped in for Tony Quinn, who was forced out early.